The exercises featured in the Nova Yoga Show are not suitable for everyone. It is recommended that you consult a physician before beginning this or any other exercise program.
Well, hey there. So glad that you could join us today. I'm Melanie, and welcome to Nova Yoga Studio here in beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland. Today, we have a practice for you to help you find your bliss, so a joyful, uplifting flow for your body and your mind. And today, we have Robert and Kate. So if you are newer to yoga and you'd like some modifications, you can check out what Robert is doing. And if you want to spice things up a bit, you can follow along with Kate. So we're going to start in a comfortable seat, and if you're newer to yoga, if you know that you're tight through the hips and you want some assistance with this position, you're going to follow Robert and actually sit on a block or a pillow or a blanket, something that will help you lift your hips up so that you can be in this position with more ease. And we're going to take the hands to the knees, palms up, and we're going to close the eyes. And sitting up nice and tall, so feeling the crown of the head stretch up to the sky. And letting your shoulders roll down the back away from the ears so that you can feel that beautiful expansion throughout your chest and your heart. Draw the breath in through your nose. Let it out through your mouth. And then opening up your eyes. And bring your hands together in front of your heart. And let's start to open up through the front of the body. So inhale, take your arms wide. Lift up through your chest, maybe even lift your gaze up if that's okay with you. And with your exhale, you're going to round, and you're going to wrap your arms around yourself like you're giving yourself a nice sweet hug. So inhale, let the heart flow forward and up. And then exhale, curling it in. Inhale, when we open up the front body, the heart, the chest, we awaken and we energize. Exhale. One more round. So inhale, maybe you're able to open up even more. And exhale. And sitting up nice and tall. Take your arms out to the side, up to the sky, reach up, maybe even look up. And we're going to take a twist. So bring your hand to your knee or your thigh, fingertips behind you, and you'll hold here for a moment. Take a big breath in, lift and lengthen your spine. With your exhale, very gently move into that twist. And then coming around to center, sit tall, lift up, maybe look up, inhale. And then exhale, twisting to the other side, hand to the knee or the thigh, fingertips behind you, holding here. Again, let your inhale lift you up, and let your exhale very gently take you into that twist to really awaken the spine. And then coming around to center, lift your arms up. Join your hands together, bring them down through the middle. And let's shift our way into hands and knees. So you can just push the block or blanket or prop out of the way that you've been using to sit on. And come into your hands and knees with the wrists under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. And we're going to lift up into downward facing dog. So curl your toes under and send your hips up and back. You might want to wiggle your dog a little longer if you feel too short in your stance. The hands are shoulder width apart, the feet are hip width apart, fingers spread nice and wide. I'm going to show you a modification. If you're tired or if your wrists are aching, you're going to follow Robert. He's going to come to his knees and he's going to sit back into child's pose. So this is the resting position that you can take at any time. You're still doing yoga when you're in your child's pose. So you can come to the knees, you can get comfortable, and you can be there for as long as you'd like. So Robert, I'll get you to join us in downward facing dog again. So we'll hold just one more big breath here in downward dog and really feeling how it helps us to stretch out through the hamstrings and calves, through the upper back and the shoulders. And then we're going to shift forward into plank pose. And from plank, Robert and I will lower the knees. And we're going to come down to the belly. So everyone's going to lower all the way down to the belly, keeping the elbows drawn into the ribs. And once you're there, untuck your toes and reach your arms back by your side. So we're going to come into locust pose. So you can follow Robert and keep the arms straight, or you can follow Kate and I and actually join the hands, interlace the fingers. Completely up to you. We're going to roll the shoulders back, and with a nice big inhale, we're going to lift up through the head, the shoulders, the heart, so rising through the upper body. And if it feels okay with you, you're going to lift through the lower body, so the feet and the shins lengthen. And we're going to see if we can get a little longer through the whole body. And we're going to come down to the ground. Release your hands underneath your shoulders and give your hips a little soothing sway from side to side. So that was locust pose, a real nice way to gently open up the heart. And we're going to find our way back through hands and knees and into downward facing dog. Curl the toes under and lift your hips to the sky. We're going to bend the knees, look forward to the hands, and we're going to start to walk up to the hands. So however many steps you need to walk forward. And once you're there, fold out over your legs, take a bow. Separate your feet so they're about hip width apart, and then bend your knees so that you're more in a ragdoll, just completely hanging forward. Now join your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, and see if you can work towards straighter arms, letting the knuckles rise up to the sky for that really nice shoulder opening. And keep your hands connected. Let's roll up, so press into your feet, chin to your chest. And you're rising up like you're in bloom, and your heart really wants to lift up to the sky. So at the top, shoulders back, ribs in, lift your chest up, up, up. And then take your arms wide, out to the side, up to the sky. Then join your hands and bring them all the way down through the heart center. Release your arms by your side. And let's step forward, if you're not quite there, to the top of the mat. And you can either choose to take your feet together, or you can take them a little wider, wherever you feel most stable. So we're going to take 2 sun salutations. So standing your ground, standing tall, and opening up through the heart, through the chest. And with your inhale, take the arms wide out and up. And maybe you even want to look up past the fingertips, if that's okay with your neck. Exhale, hinging at your hips, coming forward into the fold. You can bend your knees if you need, touch the ground, relax to the neck and the head. And then palms to the shins as you inhale, or fingers in line with toes flat back. Touch your fingertips down. I'd like you to step your right leg back behind you. So right leg steps back. And we're going to lower the knee down. So we're going to add a low lunge into our sun salutation today. So we want to make sure the front knee is stacked over the ankle. And we're going to interlace the fingers, and we're going to press the palms into the top of that front thigh. We're going to really draw up the torso like we're standing nice and tall on the knee there. And Kate and I are going to add in the arms, so we're going to lift the arms up to the sky, and you can look forward or you can lift up. I think Kate's going to add in a little joyous back bend there. And then lowering your hands down and sliding your knee back into place so that you're in hands and knees. And then from there, press up, downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Shifting forward into your plank pose. You can lower your knees, or you can lower in a straight, strong line. Hug the elbows in as you come down. Untuck your toes. Roll your shoulders back. Find a lift of your chest, cobra pose. And then curling the toes under, you can press back through hands and knees, or with straight legs back to downward facing dog. And then bending your knees, looking at the hands, and starting to walk forward to the top of the mat. Inhale to get long through the spine, palms to shins or fingers in line with toes. And releasing down. Have the feet hip width apart. Soften your knees, take your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, stretch your knuckles to the sky for that amazing shoulder opener. And then rolling up, press into your feet, keep the knees soft, stacking the spine, rising up, up, up through the chest, maybe even through the gaze. And then take your arms wide out and up, reaching for the sky. And bring your hands down through the midline. And let's take another round. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale, hinging, and folding, and touch the ground. Bend your knees if you need, forward fold. Inhale, palms to the shins, gazing forward with that lovely long spine. Exhale to touch the fingertips down. Step your left leg back behind you, so nice long step back. And let the knee touch down. Again, making sure that front knee stacks right over the ankle. And preparing to rise, interlace the fingers. Press your hands into the top of that front thigh, rise up through the torso. Find strong center so that you're supported here. And then maybe you want to express yourself a little bit more and find this lift up. Maybe a little back bend like Kate is offering there with the gaze turned to the sky. Something very triumphant about this pose, yeah. Then taking your hands down to the mat, sliding your knee into place for hands and knees, and then lifting up and back, downward facing dog. Finding your way forward into your plank pose, shoulders over the wrists, belly strong. And then Robert and I will lower the knees, coming down gently, slowly, with control, all the way to the belly. Untuck the toes, roll the shoulders back. Cobra pose, lift the heart. And moving back either through hands and knees or with straight legs into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. A refreshing sigh out. Bending your knees, looking forward, and starting to travel to the hands. Inhale for your half lift. Lengthen your spine, offer the heart. Exhale to fold. Take your stance a little wider, feet hip width, bend your knees, relax forward. And then join your hands coming into that bound version of the fold again, knuckles lifting to the sky, and then rolling up the spine. And your heart is searching out the sun, and it wants to lift up, up, up to the sky. And then taking your arms wide out and up. And then joining your hands, bringing the hands down to the middle. And hopefully starting to feel a little warmer, more awake, more alive. Release your arms by your side. And again, if you're not quite forward, you can step your way there. And let's move into some standing poses. Bring your hands to your hips. And we're going to step back with the right leg into a nice long lunge. So right leg will step back behind you. And just check out to the feet and make sure they're hip width apart. It's going to give you the best stability. So the knee lines up directly over the ankle. The back heel stays lifted, the feet are square, and the hips are square to the front of the mat. Make sure you're not pushing your ribs forward, so hug the ribs into the body so you're strong, supported, core connected. And then that triumphant lift up of the arms. From there, join your hands, bring the hands down into the heart center, and we're going to find that openness we found in the very beginning. With your inhale, send your arms out, let your chest rise, opening up. And then exhale to round your spine and to hug in, wrap your arms around yourself. Opening up, take your arms out to the side and then up to the sky, coming back into that lifted lunge. And then taking your hands down to frame your foot. And then Robert, you can lower your back knee to the ground. I'm actually going to place a block underneath my hands, so if you want to follow me, you can. And we're going to take a breath in to prepare. And then exhale, opening up into that twist so the left arm rises to the sky, that beautiful awakening of the spine. If you need to look down, you can certainly turn the gaze down. Lower your hand to the mat. Just push the block out of the way if you're using it. And Robert, you can straighten your back leg so you can join us. And we're going to ground the back heel so the foot is parallel with the back of the mat. And if you notice the feet, the front heel will line up with the back arch of the foot. We rise to warrior two. And you can follow Robert and I. We're going to bring the hands to the thigh for some support. Then we're going to windmill the arms open and rise up. And that front thigh is probably feeling very alive right now. So just straighten your leg for a moment. Give yourself some relief and some release. So again, checking out the feet and make sure you do have that alignment. And then we're ready to bend the knee now. So bend your knee. Ensure that it stacks directly over the ankle. And just notice if your knee is bowing in. We want to keep nice open hips, so open up that thigh so as you look down, you can see the big toe of the front foot. Power up your center. And sweep your arms out to the side. Roll the shoulders back. And maybe even a little smile on the face. It's supposed to be fun, right? Take a breath in. And as you exhale, side angle, we're going to bring the forearm to the thigh. I think Kate's going to take it a little deeper. Robert will lift his arm straight up, and I'm going to go arm alongside the ear. From this place, everyone will take that lifted arm, bring it long and low back by the thigh. And we'll inhale to sweep the arm forward to the face. We'll exhale to circle the arm up and around. And we're going to take a half bind, so bending your elbow and wrapping your arm around you so the hand sits at the low back or the side waist. A little extra work of rolling the shoulder back so you can open up through your chest. You can look up or down. And then rising up strongly, back up into your warrior two. Again, straighten that front leg. Give yourself that relief. And then bending your knee. Circle your hands down to frame your foot. And we're going to step forward. So let your back foot step forward. and fold out over your legs. Wrap your hands around your ankles or your calves and hug yourself a little deeper in. It should feel really nice after that standing work. And bring your hands to your hips, lead with your chest, come all the way up to stand. And then from there, shifting the weights into the right leg and stepping the left leg back. Again, finding the stance that allows you to feel stable. So feet hip width, knee placed over the ankle, back heel lifted, strong through the belly, and then powerful stretch up through the arms. Bring your hands together, down into heart center. And then from there, as you inhale, let your heart flow forward, stretch your arms out to the side for energy, awakening, and joy. And then with your exhale, rounding your spine, wrap your arms around yourself. Great big bear hug. And then taking your arms out and up, lifting them to the sky. And then lowering both hands down to frame your foot. And Robert, you can lower the back knee. I'm going to use my block to place my hands. And we're going to open up into a twist. So inhale to prepare, and then exhale, open it up, and stretching the fingers to the sky. Remember, you can always look down if that's better for your neck. And then lowering your hand, just sliding the block out of the way, and adjusting the stance so the back foot is flat. And Robert, you can straighten your leg and join us. So the back foot is parallel with the back of the mat, and just maneuver the feet so that they are in that one line. Hands can come to the thigh to help you up if you need that assistance, and sweeping the arm up and overhead. And once you're up, feel free to straighten that front leg. So looking at your stance, and you can always adjust the feet once you're up. So find that alignment where the front heel lines up or connects with the back arch of the foot. Then we're ready to bend the knee. Place it directly on top of the ankle. Look down, view the big toe of the front foot so you're opening up through the hips, through the heart, strong belly, and arms out. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, go ahead and bring your forearm to your thigh for side angle. Robert will stretch the arm straight up. I'm going to go arm alongside the ear, palm down, and Kate's taking things a little deeper. And we're going to lower this left arm back by the thigh, so just let it slide down and back. And then with your inhale, sweep the arm forward to the face. And exhale, open up through the chest, the shoulder, bend your elbow, wrap your arm around you, half bind. And then from there, rolling the shoulder back. See if you can spiral the ribs a little more open to the sky, looking up or down. And then floating up with ease into your warrior two. And enjoy the straightening of the leg. And give yourself that joy. And then bending your knee and circling your hands down to frame your foot. And I want you to again step forward so your back foot steps up and you fold out over your legs. Wrap your hands around your ankles or your calves and gently hug yourself a little deeper in. Freeing your hands, lift the spine halfway, palms to shins or fingers in line with the toes. And we're going to come on down to the knees, to hands and knees. And then from this place, we're going to treat ourselves to a child's pose. So sinking hips to heels. Your knees can be together or wide. Your arms can stretch forward or wrap back around you. So we're going to get cozy here for a couple of moments. So feel free to take a deep breath, have a sip of water, and we'll see you in a moment.
Interested in livening up your yoga practice? For more information on Melanie and Nova Yoga, check out novayogaonline.com or visit her at Nova Yoga Studio at 125 Longs Hill.
Hey yogis, welcome back. Today we're moving through a joyful, uplifting flow so that we can really find our bliss. So let's come up out of child's pose and we're going to take a seat. So we're going to sit facing the long edge of the mat and we're going to take one leg forward. We're going to bend the other knee and we're going to place the sole of the foot at the inner thigh and we're going to come into a very delicious side bend. So if you're following Robert, you might want to sit on a block to boost the hips. That will make the pose just feel better. So slide your hand down your leg. Inhale, lift the arm. And as you exhale, stretch up and over like you're aiming for your toes over your head, but it doesn't matter if you ever get there. It's gonna give you the best stretch. And you're gonna think about rolling your ribs open to the sky a little bit more. And if looking up doesn't feel good, you can certainly change your gaze points and look down. And then rising up from this place, and we're gonna come into half rock star, one of my favorites. So you're gonna lower your hand near your hip, fingers face out. You're gonna lift up onto your knee, and then you're gonna press up through your hips and then lean it back through the chest, reaching behind you. And then coming down to your seated position. And you're going to turn to completely face that extended leg. So lift your arms up, spin your torso to face the leg. And we're gonna fold. If you're following Robert, you might wanna take a strap or a belt or a scarf, something that you can really use to hook onto that foot. We're gonna hinge at the hips and fold. And you can use the strap. You can place your hands on the mat, or you can take things a little deeper into the fold depending on where you are. And I want you to keep this extended leg really strong, active, foot flexed and toes turned to the sky. And really resist the urge to curl in, because we just did all this wonderful opening, so we want to keep that as we fold. And let your breath guide you into the fold. And then rising slowly. And we're going to switch out the legs. So straighten the opposite leg, bend your knee, and bring the sole of your foot to your inner thigh. And we're going to inhale to lift the arm. Then exhale to take the arm up and over. Feel that gorgeous expansion through the ribs, the side body. And again, no curling in. See if you can roll a little more open to the sky and really extend through your fingertips. Gazing up or down. And then lifting up and coming into that joyous back bend, half rock star. Place your hand, lift up onto the knee. And press up through the hips, sweep your arm up and overhead. And then gently lowering down to seated. Okay, take both arms up, turn to face your extended leg. Turn your toes to the sky. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to fold. You can strap the foot. You can place the hands. You might even want to hold onto your leg or your foot. Again, keeping the shoulders onto the back, the heart reaching forward. And then rising slowly up from the fold. And you can release any props you're using, the strap or the block, and you're gonna turn to face the front of the mat. You're gonna take a seat at the middle of your mat, knees bent, feet on the floor. If you're following Robert, you'll hold onto your thighs. If you wanna lower with a bit of a challenge, you're gonna free the arms and come all the way down on your own silent 5 count. So it's a very controlled release to the ground. And we're gonna take on bridge pose. So rest your arms by your side. Walk your feet hip-width apart, and then walk your heels close in towards your seat. We're gonna press evenly into the feet, and we're gonna lift the hips up. Robert will stay with hands by the side. I'm gonna interlace my fingers, I think Kate will join me. So we're gonna bind the hands, and then we're gonna roll the shoulders underneath the torso for even more lift. So this back bend, this heart opener bridge pose, is an amazing pose for boosting energy and for stimulating creativity, connecting us to our joy, like a lot of our back bends. I think Kate might even be feeling like going a little deeper. So if you're an advanced practitioner and you want to try on wheel pose and you know your wheel pose, you can certainly lift up. Otherwise, you can breathe with Robert and I in bridge. Gently releasing, start to roll the spine down into the ground and let your hips release. And just give your knees a little sway from side to side, just gentle, like windshield wipers moving from side to side. And then slowly draw your knees into your chest, hug the shins in, and another little rock and roll on the spine to let that be very soothing for the lower back. And then set your feet on the ground, knees bent. Interlace the fingers and position the hands behind the head just like you're lying on the beach. This is Cancun mudra, like you're chilling out in Mexico. So let your shoulders soften, let your elbows widen. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, let your knees roll to the left. Just let gravity take them over, keeping your gaze up at the sky, and then closing your eyes. Feel all that gorgeous space surrounding your heart through the front body, the chest, the shoulders. Imagine that the sun is streaming down on you, bathing you in its light, its warmth, its glow. And let your knees move to center as you inhale. Exhale, let them roll to the right. Again, gaze up at the sky, eyes closed. Enjoying how you feel. Hopefully warmer, energized, awake, alive, and happy. Draw the knees in, back to center, hug them into the chest. As you inhale, bring your forehead to your knees, curl up, and a refreshing sigh to stretch you out into your relaxation, your shavasana, and your bliss. Enjoy. I thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.
Hey yogis, we want to hear from you. Enjoy the show? Have a suggestion? We love your feedback. Send us a note at rogerstv.com or call 757-9600.